I can see some scratch lines. Now, those scratch lines could be in the direction of sanding, but I find there's some suspicious scratch lines, like someone's took bird poo off. People really need to educate. So guys, we've got loads and loads of deep defects on this roof here. Deep scratch lines, some marring from claying and some normal swells, but the most important thing is the deep scratch lines and the really deep sanding marks that I have no idea what's gone on and why they're there, but I can see they're really bad. So we need a heavy cut or a heavy hitter, which is why I want to introduce the purple foam wall pads. There's actually foam halfway down inside the pad, so it does perform slightly like a foam pad, but also like a wall pad, so it's a hybrid pad really. This is not the only range of purple foam pads we make. We have various thicknesses. I've gone for two extremes here. This purple foam wall pad will work better with a rotary. It's where it's going to be more efficient. And this one's going to be more efficient really with a DA. When I say DA, we're talking about random orbital or a dual action machine, a sort of gear driven machine. This here, this pile, is going to flop around on an orbit. So we'll still get cut, but we're losing a lot of the cutting action of the orbit because of the way the pile flops over. So if we make the pile very, very short, now the fibres can't flop to and fro. So whatever orbit size you're using, 8, 12, 15 mil, whatever orbit size it is, you're getting that same cutting action on the face of a thin, slim disc like this. They're sort of tweaked and tailored that really that suits a DA or random orbital machine. That suits the rotary. So in this case, to show that really deep, heavy defects can be removed with a random orbital polisher, I'm going to set myself a little challenge. We're going to use a heavy cut compound with these pads. The reason I've got two out, 3 inch and a 5 inch, we've got a big large flat area, which we can use at the 5 inch. And then we've got the 3 inch for the smaller intricate areas. So I want to show you that these pads here will give you the ability to cut deep defects with a more gentle cutting action of your sort of machines like your Porter cable, your 8mm orbits and your 12mm orbits. Before we do that, I'm going to do a 50-50 line at all times here to show you the progress. So we'll leave one half not corrected, one half corrected, and we can monitor the results as we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with an 8mm orbit machine. So this is literally your hobbyist machine, your beginner's machine. It's what everyone would start with, the least amount of cut. So my choice is going to be the DAS 6 Pro. Remember, this is short pile, so I can't load, or I wouldn't be advisable to load this pad in the same manner as you'd load a very long pile wall pad. You're going to clog the surface very, very quickly. So I'm still going to prime it up. We're going to start the machine up at low speed, cord over your shoulder. So let's spread the compound. What I've done, just demonstrated, I've just spread out the compound that was applied on this pad, and I'm going to work in little strips at a time. I'm going to wipe the middle and do like a little inspection and check there. There's no need to wipe it all off, I just need to look in the middle to see if I need to do another pass. I can see that the deeper marks are left. There's a nice lot of scratch lines here that you can see are, I'd say 80% gone, but a lot of the smaller marks have gone. So it doesn't surprise me that I need to do one more pass, at least maybe 3. So I didn't put any pressure down, I didn't run the speed up full, it was only about half speed. So now I have the ability to put a bit more compound on, turn the speed up and press down. Now I've gauged how heavy cut that is. So I've now gone over that area, that rectangle area, 3 times. That's not once, twice, 3 times. That's polished it until the compound's diminished, wiped it clean, checked the surface, see that the results are getting better, the defects are going, reapplied compound, repeat the process. That's twice, then the 3rd time. Nothing special, just medium speed, no clever techniques here, just flat pad. I just want to prove, even with your hobbyist machine, what this great purple foam wall pad will be able to achieve. Now what I'm going to do is check the progress by, again, wiping it in the middle Obviously I did check it on the second pass and I can see that I'm quite close to getting the results I desire, and they're there. Let's unmask this area. But we're going to look at this with two different light sources. Now, it's going to be quite difficult because we need to look down on my strip lamps above, because I want to show you how much of an improvement there is, because the different light sources pick up different types of defects. So I want to show you in two different light sources how great this has been. It's just a heavy cut. Remember, we're still going to refine this down afterwards. The strip lamp there is showing the insane level of gloss that's gone up, even though it was a heavy cut compound, and you can see it's really removed all the really deep scratch lines. Now with the spotlight, you can see micro hazing, but the evidence is still clear and obvious of how much improvement there's been from just a simple process. So I've now done the other half of this panel, the rectangle area here, in the exact same process as this side. So I've done it once, wiped it down, checked it, done it twice, wiped it down, checked it, and this is the third time. I can wipe that now. I'll check in with the light. It's done its job. So I'm going to get you to see this, and then we're going to refine it. Next task would be to do these smaller areas, these more intricate areas, with a 3-inch pad, the purple foam wall pad 3-inch. Before we do that, I want to show you a sort of accelerated, complete turnaround. If we correct all these defects here, there's no reference for you to see how it started. So we know that this area here is very, very similar to what this looked like at the beginning. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a finishing pad. I'll come back to what pad this is in a moment. And I'm going to refine this sort of half here. So we've got two references. How much extra gloss you can achieve from a jeweling, finishing, refining process compared to a cutting process, and actually a lovely 50-50 of how this roof was to start with, because we've got this perfect comparison. That brings me nicely onto the finishing pad. I'm going to use the SDO black finishing pad. This is the perfect pad for your 8mm, 12mm machines. So remember, recap, the hobbyist machine has done all the cutting, now it's going to do all the refining. All I'm changing now is to the SDO pad and finishing cut compound. This is a little top tip of mine. I prefer to really load up the pad, prime up the pad, in exactly the same manner as I do for heavy cutting. Actually, fully priming a pad gives me a better result than having any area that's dry. And I think it's becoming more common knowledge that this is actually a good process to do. We're going away from this sort of 2 to 3 blobs. Not that 2 to 3 blobs won't work, it does work, but if you're doing 2 to 3 blobs, give it a go. Prime up your pad, load the pad, rub it in, then work the pad, see what results you get. You're going to see the results I'm going to get. So what I've done, I've gone over there multiple times. The longer you polish for with your finishing cut, depending on what compound you use, if you're using a good quality diminishing compound, it will actually get finer and finer and finer the more you work it. So it gives you a better gloss, and also means when you go to wipe it off, it's easier, it's less compounded, it's broken down, it's diminished. Now we've got to wipe it down. I'm going to do again a little area where I'm going to wipe clean, just in the middle first, to make sure I've got rid of all my sort of hazing from the heavy cut. So I'm going to avoid the masking tape area. Being very gentle again. Use my inspection lamp. Yep, it's lovely. And now I can see myself a great transformation. The line that's been left from the masking tape, the sort of residue of compound, I'm happy to leave there, so it helps you as a visual clue. In this case, it's quite stunning. Here you're seeing the micro marring from the heavy cut process. Here's the refining from the SDO pad. And here for a reference is the original defects on this area. So massive transformation, really pleased with results, and you can see some steps there, processes. Simple hobby machine, 2 pads, 2 compounds. So we've got great stunning results. We now need to tackle the smaller, intricate areas. We can switch over to a 3-inch machine, and in this case we can use a 12mm orbit machine instead of an 8mm, just to show you that our pads are compatible with other size orbits. So what I'm going to do, same process as before, not going to change it. Heavy cut, 2 or 3 passes possibly. Check it, wipe it down, then go to refining stage. So let's get on with it. So that's the rough cut done. So I'm now going to wipe it, inspect it. I think you get the idea now. I can see so much of the deep defects have gone now. So I'm happy that that's corrected enough. What we're looking for here, I'm looking for the deep defects. I'm happy. I can see a very strong, distinct polishing haze. That's going to go again when we carry out the refining process, which will be the STO pad with a finishing compound. Happy. It's looking stunning. This area is done. A lot more really I could say. All done. Moving on to the next part of the car. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
That's the stuff. See, show don't tell. That's what I like.